First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. Not going to be easy at all. Thomas Lee Eldredge was born in New York. He lived there until about 2006, before he moved to Florida and lived there until he met me, where we moved back up to Minnesota in 2019 for about a month. Then went back to Florida. Then he went back to Florida and then eventually got me a ticket. In January of 2021, we got back up here again. I was working at Dollar General at the time when I moved down there, and we were losing people a lot, so we were in the process of hiring people. I started to date one of my coworkers at the time. It was a shitty relationship. My boss was getting in the process of hiring more people at the time and doing interviews, and I showed up for one work day, and he was in the office, and I said hi and just did my usual, went to work. He ended up coming down to the store almost frequently, and it was, my boss was getting annoyed, thinking he was pestering about the job and stuff, and nope, he was coming down the whole entire time to talk to me, but every time he did, I was busy or had a line at work. He knew he wanted to marry me when he first met me. I didn't know that until after we were together for a while. I was overwhelmed with everything going on with my family and things at work and dealing with the boyfriend at the time. He could see it on my face and said that we are going out to eat and just hang out one day. And he invited my family as well. They all said no, but if I still wanted to go, I could. My ex-boyfriend and his came with. My ex-boyfriend and his friends didn't realize that me and him were kind of flirting while we were all there. And I'm not quite a heavy drinker, but I had a little too much that night, and instead of my ex doing what he should have been doing, I reached over and asked him, I said, "Are you going to help me go home?" And no response. So Thomas ended up saying, "I'll bring you home." So in the meantime, we're walking out, me and Thomas are holding hands, and my ex said some stupid comment to the boss, or the cop. "Well, we're just helping her get home because she's drunk." I'm like, what? And so Thomas didn't even end up just bringing me to my house. He made sure that I got inside okay. That same night, my ex had ended up blowing up my phone. So I called Thomas the next day. He said he was at Bayshore if I wanted to come talk to him. I said yes. And finally got a hold of my ex that day, broke it off with him. I said that it wasn't working, he wasn't holding jobs, nothing was going right. So I broke it off with him. I was sitting on, if you guys know what seawalls are, I was sitting on the wall, just chilling. And he ended up walking over and kissing me unexpectedly. So that was on actually the 21st of July of 2018 is when we started. And we basically have had our fair shares of ups and downs, but we still stuck by each other. And that showed me that we were true. We were committed to each other. I was not good, it was not good the first time that we came up here. So we had, there was a kind of like a coalition church type thing that bought us tickets to come back up to help out my family up here, and that worked out. We went from staying in a hotel for the month when we were in Florida to being in a U-Haul to being homeless, and then back up here staying with my grandma and Tammy at the time. When they were doing the stimulus checks, as we were both agreeing that we had to get out of the house where everybody was cramped, we were all just overwhelmed and everything, and he looked online, found Way Park Crossings, and he's like, I got an apartment, filled out the application. Very next day they called us, we had the apartment. We moved in June of 2020. We were only there a year, 3 months, and 6 days before he passed away. We were together. I got to learn more about him, and he did for a living. Before I met him, he went and had a big surgery in 10th grade. His father ended up dying of colon cancer, so his brother and mom and him all had to get tested. He came back positive with it. They did, if I remember correctly, his grandma, Miss Watson, said it was about an 18-hour surgery. It was very touch and go, but he pulled through that. So he's had colostomy bag and wafer bags for a while, and that was only when he was 17. He worked at ShopRite in New York. He plowed for the state, worked in the DNR, going and cleaning the parks, making sure they're all clean. He did those big semi-trucks. It was liquors, it was groceries, it was you name it. And then when he got into Florida, he was in Northport. If you guys are familiar with Florida, it is, there's a Winn-Dixie there, so he was the manager of that. He used to pull jokes on people, like his coworker, he put a case of water that we normally get in our grocery stores, and they put it on the bottom layer of the cardboard compactor, and when the people that are able to run them went and used it, it would actually just explode all the water everywhere. So him and another buddy or whatever that was in the back room was like, you can't hold it in? Crying out loud. So that was that. They put a coworker's car up for sale, peanut butter on the door handles, things up in the loft, all these different things. And I got to know his family very well, especially his cousins on the east coast of Florida, which is where we were planning on going. But they ended up, one of his cousins is Patrick, and they just had a little girl. Actually, it's her birthday this weekend. Well, it was on the 2nd, but they took saran wrap and wrapped him in saran wrap around the whole entire bed and laid a whole bunch of raw shrimp on top of him. So it was like, really? He also, Melissa and Brandon came over to my house this year for my birthday. And I'm like, I don't want a cake, I don't want to make a fuss about it, whatever. So we were coming around the bakery section and Cashwise here, and he ended up going and getting the number 1. Well, I had them write happy 33rd birthday, Rose. Well, he took, and you guys will see what I'm talking about when we get downstairs, because I'm going to do it to his cake now too. But he took the one, those like wax candle ones, and shoved it right in front of my 33 and made it 133. We stayed with each other, we would say to each other that we have never lost it, or that we have lost it. But then we would say, how can we lose it if we never had it? We have talked about taking trips to New York, because that's where he was for a while. And that's why there's the the 9/11 pictures on the board over there someday, and also wanted to have kids someday too. He also made made many great foods, also sure what I needed, what I wanted, I had in life. I was there for him no matter what happened. Okay. Start right there.
I was there for him no matter what we were doing through in our life. You will be dearly missed, but will never be forgotten. Oh, no matter what happens in my life, I love you forever, babe.
And that's it. So now we will go have the potluck. Yeah, that's fine, whatever. I mean, if you guys want to mingle and visit and you got questions or whatever, that's fine. Oh, yeah, does anybody want to share family-wise? Grandma, come on. You have to.
I want to share.
Go for it.
Here, I want to say something quick.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't have anything prepared, but Thomas was very inviting when we first met him. Never met us before. He was just a happy guy. He loved to cook. He liked to invite us over to just to feed us. He's like, "Come on, you guys, I made something amazing." And we come over there. It was always good, never disappointed one bit. And he will be truly missed just because he was just a nice guy, and we got along with him, and of course Rose. And so, you know, it's just a sad thing that this happened, but we'll never forget him, and we'll always have stories about him. And just love the man, and I'm sad that he's gone. Thank you.
I told you I was gonna have to do it, Grandma. What my grandma's gonna tell you guys may think it's crazy, but for me and her, it was that moment that we knew he was there.
Well, I walked into the room and he says, "Oh, Grandma's here." And we were chit-chatting, I and Rose was, and all of a sudden he goes, "Yippee!" We don't know why he did it or
Nope.
anything, but he just goes, "Yippee!" He'll be dearly missed too.
Yep.
So for the people who are live, you probably can't see me, but hopefully you can hear me. So for me and Thomas, our relationship was a little bit different. I live with chronic pain, he lived with chronic pain. So the one thing that I'll never, ever, ever forget about Thomas is that he always smelled like Ben Gay. Always. And I always tried to get him to use something else. Just
Biofreeze.
Biofreeze. I was like, "Can you try Biofreeze?" He's like, "No," he would never ever try it.
Well, we
But
did eventually get him to try it, but then he's like, it doesn't freaking work.
Yeah, but it works. He just never really gave it a deep chance, you know? No pun intended, because it's deep penetrating, you know? But he has forever implanted that Ben Gay smell, you know? So, but for, like Brandon said, we used to go over to their house and have dinner, and he made the best beef stew, you guys. Like, seriously, it was so good. And for me, the way that he watched the football game is not like anybody else. If you know people who really, really love football, they're screaming and yelling at the TV, and he like whispered at football games. Like Thomas was so soft-spoken that you had to ask him sometimes again what he would say. But yeah, go team. No, it's like go team, you know. But he was soft-spoken. And I'll never forget that about him, when he was watching his sports teams. So, you'll see footballs and baseballs around here. I didn't like football, but I liked watching football with Thomas because it was funny to watch him whisper at his teams.
All right, now we will have visit. People can walk around and see the posters and everything. And then about,
Till 12, because the meatloaf was cooked till 12.
that's fine. And then probably about 12:30, 12:15 or something like that, we'll have the potluck.